everybody, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about fluency. Fluency in English speaking. We all know that this is the major factor. Fluency. We need to be fluent in English speaking. We all know that. But we don't know what actually is needed to become fluent in English speaking. So I'm going to discuss all these things in this video. So watch this video till the end. This is a very important video. Don't miss any section of this video, and I must tell you that if you watch these and if you do take actions according to the steps which I am going to discuss, you will be fluent very soon. So let's start the video. So first of all, I want to say one important thing, that is you need to be very patient. You need to be very patient. You cannot be in a hurry. You cannot feel like that I have to become fluent within a week or in 2 days or 3 days. It is not like that. It is a time-taking process. Yes, you can become fluent within a month. Within 30 days, you can easily become fluent if you want, if you do take actions. If you are regular in your English speaking practice, yes, you can become fluent. But yeah, it is not so easy. You need to work hard. You need to practice more and more. So first of all is you have to be very much patient. Okay. Your efforts will decide how much fluent you can become in few days. So that is actually dependent on your efforts, on your practice sessions, on your hard works. And number 2 is ambience. Ambience is very important. We always say that create an environment of this language. We all know this, but we don't know how to create. There are many people who have one common complaint, that I don't have anybody with whom I can practice speaking in English. This is a major problem. And in my surroundings, there are people who always speak in the native language, which is not English. As I am an Indian, I can also say that I have the same issue. But I generally do not complain, because I can practice with myself if I don't get anybody. But fortunately, I am an English teacher, I am an English coach. So I get people where they used to speak with me in English. I put them into such situations where they have to speak only in English, and I always conversate in English. So in my case, that is different. But in previous days of my life, I used to face the same problem, that is, there were no such people who can speak with me in English and who can tell me whether I am speaking right or wrong, whether I am doing any kind of mistake. So that was a big problem in my life. But I am telling you, if you want to solve this problem, you can become a part of my community. And if you want to register for my mini workshop, which I held for 5 days in a week, so I will provide the link in the description box. Register for that mini workshop and become a member of my community, where you can get the chance to speak in English every time whenever you join the community. And you can find so many people who are like you and who are ready to practice speaking in English with you. So this is a golden opportunity, I can say. Don't miss it. Grab the opportunity, and it can benefit you a lot. Okay. Now let's come to the ambience. So you need to create your own ambience of this language. How can you do this? You have to listen more and more in this language. If you can listen to such people who speak so good in this language, who speak so confidently in this language, you can imitate that quality of speaking in your speaking style. As when we were babies, we used to speak in our own mother tongue by listening. We listen to our parents, we listen to the people who were in our surroundings, and just by imitating them, we tried to speak. We did not learn grammar of our mother tongue. We did not learn any kind of vocabulary or sentence structures. And just by listening, we tried to speak in this mother tongue language. So in this language also, the thing is same. You need to listen more and more. If you do not have such people in your surroundings who speak so well in English, listen to those people in YouTube videos, You can watch Netflix movies where you can have so many movies in native English where the actors are speaking in English only, no other language is there, and you can listen to podcasts where people are speaking in English only. You can watch videos of TEDx speakers. So you can do several things. You can do several things to create a good ambience of this language. First is to listen more and more. Second is to read. I always suggest to read more and more in this language. As much as you read in this language, you can become easy in this language. You can become comfortable in this language. You will not feel like that this language is not mine. This language is actually not my first language. You will not think like that. This language will become very much comfortable to you, and that can be achieved only by reading. Reading more and more is actually important. And we generally see there are people who listen much in English, but they skip this part, that is reading part. If you want to read about celebrities, read about them, but read in English. Keep English newspapers in your home, read them. Whatever section actually amuses you, like sports section or entertainment section or any kind of news, whoever you feel that that person is actually somebody in which you are feeling interested, read about that person in English. Keep English magazines. You can do several things to read out in English. Okay, you can keep English novels, you can buy English books from Amazon, Flipkart, on any other site. You can see there are so many books in English. Buy them or read the Kindle versions. So try to read something in English at least for 30 minutes a day, half an hour a day. You can read. Invest this much time in your reading. If you can do this, you can enhance your understanding in this language. Now, this ambience creation is very much important. You have understood. So you need to listen more and more. You need to read more and more. And the important thing that is needed is speaking. We can't forget about this thing. Speaking is very much important. As we see that there are no such people with whom we can speak in English, we can speak in English with ourselves in front of mirror, in front of camera. We can record ourselves. We can record our videos speaking in English. We can record our audio speaking English. We can do many things. Whatever we are reading in newspaper, whatever we are reading in magazines, whatever we are reading in our books, we can summarize them by speaking in front of camera in English, or we can just record the audio of our speaking. So we can try in this way. We can create an ambience of English language by ourselves. We need nobody for this language. We can create all these things by ourselves. We need nobody to help us. Okay. So the second point is ambience. Now the third point, this is the vital point, and this is last point but not the least one, that is you have to understand four parameters of fluency. Four parameters of fluency. The first parameter is voice modulation, or you can say intonation, or you can say speech modulation, or pace of speaking, whatever you say. So in this category, you have to understand that you have to maintain pauses, you have to maintain stresses on particular words and many things. If you maintain voice modulation, your speeches will sound sophisticated, your speeches will sound like a profound one. If you have watched any TEDx speaker, you can understand how they speak. They maintain voice modulations. Now let's come to the second parameter of fluency, that is body language. As much as you speak with open hands, as you can see I am speaking with open hands, as much as you can express yourself well in this language, you will become comfortable in this language. So body language is something which plays an important role in this fluency. Now the third parameter, ability to form long sentences. Ability to form long sentences is really important. as we have to speak more and more in this language, we should have that ability. In a beginner level, we can speak with small sentences. That is okay with the beginner level. But as much as we conversate in English, we can understand that long sentences are required in between. We can't always go with small sentences. Small sentences are okay in the beginner level. When you have short talks, when you are speaking with somebody in just in 1 minute or in few seconds, those small sentences go well. But when you try to speak with people in a group, you can understand you have to speak more and more. You have to express your views. At that moment, you can't speak in small sentences. At that moment, long sentences are required. At that moment, you have to understand you need that ability to speak long sentences. So you need to grow that ability of creating long sentences by your own. Okay, this is the third parameter. Now the fourth parameter, this is the final one, and this is very important, that is vocabulary and grammar. Vocabulary and grammar are the essential ones. As much as we speak, we need to understand we have to be better in English grammar. We can't speak something which will go grammatically wrong. Okay, so we need to have a knowledge on basic English grammar. As much as we understand basic English grammar, we can speak more well. And another thing is vocabulary. A list of vocabulary should be ready with us. If I forget one word, I should be smart enough to use another word in place of that which means the same. For example, this word forget. If I forget this word forget in between a speech, I should be smart enough to use another word which means the same as forget. Like I can't memorize, I can't remember, I am unable to recall. I am not telling that I am forgetting. Okay, so I am actually using another set of words. So in this way, you need to learn more and more words so that you can use those words in sentences well. If you forget one word, it will not hamper your speech, it will not hamper your conversation. You can use another word in place of that. So that's why learning vocabulary is needed. And another important reason behind that is when you listen to people, you can see there are so many people who speak so good in English and they use several words which we have never heard before. So first time we are hearing. This case is really very critical case, because if you don't understand what the person is telling you, then problem will happen in communication. Okay, so that's why you need to read more and more words. You need to know many words and phrases. As much as you grow your vocabulary, you can communicate well with your listener, you can communicate well with another speaker. So that's why learning vocabulary is important, and a knowledge of basic grammar is very much important, like tense, like modals, like basic sentence structures. So all these are required. You can't miss this part. So that is all about fluency. I have discussed many things about fluency, and you can gain fluency in just a month if you are regular in your practice of speaking, listening and reading. And if you can write something in English, then it will go better. Okay, that will be a bonus point, I can say. But yes, listening is important, reading is important, and side by side speaking is very much important. So if you maintain these three things every day for a month, I'm telling you, you can become a fluent English speaker in just 30 days. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. Take care. Bye.